Are you doing everything right for your health? Eating clean, taking supplements, getting your eyes checked, yet your vision still feels weaker, your memory isn't as sharp, and by evening, your brain feels tired and foggy? Here's the surprising truth most seniors are never told. Your eyes and your brain don't age independently. They age together, and they repair themselves while you sleep, but only if you give them the right raw materials. Vision loss and memory decline are often treated as inevitable parts of aging. Glasses get stronger, names get harder to recall, reading at night becomes exhausting. But what if the real issue isn't your eyes or your brain? It's your nighttime repair biology not getting the nutrients it needs. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every night, especially during deep sleep, your brain activates its maintenance crew. Damaged neurons are repaired, inflammation is cleared, blood flow is redistributed. The same thing happens in your eyes. The retina, which is actually brain tissue, undergoes intense metabolic repair while you sleep. But this repair process is nutrient dependent. If key minerals, antioxidants, and healthy fats are missing, your brain can't fully restore memory circuits, and your eyes can't repair light-sensitive cells. Over time, that shows up as blurry vision, poor night vision, dry eyes, forgetfulness, slower thinking, and even increased risk of macular degeneration and cognitive decline. Now here's the empowering part. Some of the most powerful nutrients for nighttime brain and eye repair are not exotic supplements. They are specific dry fruits, foods humans have used for centuries that deliver magnesium, zinc, omega fats, polyphenols, and neuroprotective compounds in a form your body absorbs slowly while you sleep. And when eaten at the right time in the right amount, they work with your circadian rhythm, not against it. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your brain and eyes like a high-performance camera system. All day long, it's exposed to light, stress, blood sugar spikes, and inflammation. At night, the system shuts down to clean the lens, repair wiring, and recharge the battery. But if you don't supply the parts, the antioxidants, the minerals, the fats, the repairs are incomplete. What the research shows is that targeted nighttime nutrition can measurably support retinal blood flow, neurotransmitter balance, memory consolidation, protection against oxidative damage, and age-related cognitive decline. In today's talk, I'm going to walk you through 3 specific dry fruits that stand out in the research for repairing vision and boosting memory, naturally, gently, and safely while you sleep. I'll explain why they work, how to eat them, when to eat them, and who needs to be careful. No hype, no miracle claims, just physiology, nutrition, and practical tools you can use tonight. And if this kind of clear, science-driven guidance is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day to help you optimize health, energy, and longevity naturally. Let's start by outlining the 6 key insights we'll cover, because understanding the why makes the what far more powerful. Here's the first key insight most seniors have never had explained clearly. Your eyes and your brain are made of the same tissue, fueled by the same blood supply, and damaged by the same metabolic stressors. So when memory fades or vision weakens, it's rarely 2 separate problems. It's one underlying system breaking down. Here's what's really going on inside your body. The retina at the back of your eye is not just connected to the brain, it is brain tissue. It has one of the highest metabolic demands in the entire body. That means it burns a lot of energy, uses a lot of oxygen, and produces a lot of oxidative waste. The hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory, works the same way. Now let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your brain and eyes as 2 rooms in the same house, powered by the same electrical panel and plumbing. If the wiring degrades or the water pressure drops, both rooms suffer. Changing the light bulb in one room doesn't fix the problem. You have to repair the system. In aging, 3 system-level problems begin to show up. First, oxidative stress increases. This is cellular rust caused by light exposure, blood sugar spikes, inflammation, and environmental stress. The retina is especially vulnerable because light constantly hits it. Second, microcirculation declines. Tiny blood vessels that feed the brain and eyes become stiff and narrow. Less oxygen, less nutrient delivery, slower repair. Third, nighttime nutrient availability drops. Seniors often eat lighter dinners, absorb minerals less efficiently, or avoid fats at night, exactly when the brain needs them most. What the research shows is that cognitive decline and age-related vision problems share these same drivers: oxidative damage, impaired blood flow, and insufficient neuroprotective nutrients during sleep. This is why simply wearing glasses or doing memory games often doesn't stop progression. They don't address the root cause. Now here's where dry fruits come in and why timing matters. Certain dry fruits contain slow-release fats, minerals, and antioxidants that enter the bloodstream gradually over several hours. When eaten in the evening, they act like a nutritional drip feed during deep sleep, supplying the raw materials for repair when insulin is low and growth hormone is high. During deep sleep, your brain activates the glymphatic system, essentially a cleaning system that flushes out inflammatory waste. At the same time, the retina renews photoreceptor cells damaged by light exposure during the day, but these processes are nutrient dependent. Without magnesium, neurons struggle to relax and reset. Without zinc, night vision enzymes weaken. Without polyphenols and healthy fats, cell membranes remain inflamed and fragile. This is why seniors often notice worse night vision, dry eyes, or memory lapses despite eating healthy during the day. The issue isn't effort, it's biological timing. Studies in nutritional neuroscience have shown that diets rich in polyphenols, omega fats, and trace minerals are associated with slower cognitive decline and reduced risk of macular degeneration. Importantly, absorption and utilization improve when these nutrients are consumed with the body's circadian rhythm, not against it. Now, this doesn't mean eating large meals at night. That would spike insulin and disrupt sleep. The key is small, targeted amounts that support repair without metabolic stress. And that's exactly why the next 3 dry fruits matter, because they deliver concentrated nutrition in a form your body can use while you sleep. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I share evidence-based strategies like this every day to help you protect your brain, vision, and longevity naturally. Next, we'll talk about the first dry fruit, one that directly supports retinal blood flow, stabilizes nighttime blood sugar, and protects memory-forming neurons while you sleep. The first dry fruit that deserves your attention, especially if you care about vision clarity, memory retention, and healthy aging, is walnuts. Now, many people think of walnuts as just a healthy fat, but that's an oversimplification. Walnuts are one of the few foods that look like the organ they support, and the biology actually matches the visual. Here's what's really going on inside your body when you eat walnuts, especially in the evening. Walnuts are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a plant-based omega-3 fat. Your brain and retina are made largely of fat, and not just any fat, but highly flexible anti-inflammatory fats that allow neurons and photoreceptor cells to communicate efficiently. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your brain cells like electrical wires. The insulation around those wires is made of fat. If that insulation becomes stiff, inflamed, or damaged, the signal weakens. Memory slows. Visual processing becomes fuzzy. Walnuts help restore the insulation, making the signal clearer again. What the research shows is that diets rich in walnuts are associated with improved cognitive performance, better memory recall, reduced oxidative stress in brain tissue, improved endothelial function, meaning better blood flow to small vessels, including those in the retina. Walnuts also contain polyphenols, powerful plant compounds that cross the blood-brain barrier. These compounds reduce neuroinflammation and protect neurons from age-related damage. Now here's where the timing becomes critical. When walnuts are eaten at night in a small amount, their fats digest slowly. This leads to a gentle, sustained release of fatty acids during deep sleep, exactly when your brain and eyes are repairing cell membranes. At the same time, walnuts help stabilize nighttime blood sugar. This is important because blood sugar dips and spikes during sleep can disrupt memory consolidation and worsen nighttime vision issues. There's also a hormonal angle here. Walnuts support melatonin production indirectly by providing nutrients involved in circadian rhythm regulation. Better melatonin means deeper sleep. Deeper sleep means better memory encoding and retinal repair. Now let's talk about how to use walnuts correctly, because more is not better. Nighttime protocol for walnuts. Portion 2 to 3 whole walnuts, not a handful. Timing 30 to 60 minutes after dinner or about 1 hour before bed. Best form, raw or lightly soaked. Soaking improves mineral absorption and digestion. Pairing can be eaten alone or with a few almonds or pistachios. but don't mix with sweets. If you have diabetes or are insulin resistant, keep the portion small. Walnuts have minimal impact on blood sugar when eaten alone, but excess can still add calories. One common mistake seniors make is avoiding fats at night out of fear of weight gain. But here's the physiology. Fat does not spike insulin. In fact, when eaten strategically, it can improve metabolic stability overnight. Studies in nutritional neuroscience suggest that regular walnut consumption is linked to slower cognitive aging and better executive function. And because the retina is part of the brain, these benefits extend to visual processing and retinal health as well. So walnuts act as structural support for brain and eye cells, anti-inflammatory protection, blood flow enhancement, and a nighttime repair nutrient. This is not about snacking, it's about supplying the right building blocks at the right biological time. Next, we'll move to the second dry fruit, one that works through an entirely different mechanism: mineral-driven relaxation, neurotransmitter balance, and memory consolidation during sleep. And yes, this is where magnesium comes in. The second dry fruit works through a completely different pathway than walnuts, not fats, but minerals and neurotransmitter control. And for seniors, this pathway is often the missing link between poor sleep, weak memory, and declining vision. That dry fruit is almonds. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As we age, one of the earliest deficiencies that develops, often without obvious symptoms, is magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is not a relaxation vitamin in a vague sense. It is a master mineral that controls more than 300 enzymatic reactions, many of them in the brain and nervous system. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your brain like a busy office building. During the day, lights are on, phones are ringing, emails are flying. At night, the building needs to power down, archive files, repair wiring, and clean the floors. Magnesium is the night manager that makes sure this shutdown happens smoothly. Without enough magnesium, neurons stay overactive. Stress hormones like cortisol remain elevated. Sleep becomes lighter and fragmented. Memory consolidation suffers. Retinal cells remain inflamed instead of repairing. Almonds are one of the most reliable natural sources of bioavailable magnesium, along with vitamin E, a powerful fat-soluble antioxidant that protects cell membranes, especially in the brain and eyes. What the research shows is that magnesium plays a direct role in activating GABA, the brain's primary calming neurotransmitter, reducing nighttime cortisol, enhancing slow-wave sleep, which is critical for memory storage, protecting neurons from excitotoxic damage, supporting retinal nerve signaling. This is especially important for seniors who say, "I sleep, but I don't feel restored," or "I forget things more when I'm stressed." Now here's where almonds become uniquely powerful at night. When eaten in a small amount in the evening, almonds release magnesium slowly during digestion. This creates a gentle calming effect that supports the transition into deeper sleep without acting like a sedative. At the same time, vitamin E from almonds accumulates in neural and retinal tissue, helping neutralize oxidative stress that builds up during the day from light exposure and metabolic activity. There's also a blood sugar angle. Almonds help blunt nighttime glucose fluctuations. Stable blood sugar during sleep is essential for memory consolidation and preventing early morning brain fog. Now let's talk about how to use almonds correctly, because this is where most people get it wrong. Nighttime protocol for almonds: portion 5 to 7 almonds. Timing 45-60 minutes before bed. Preparation: lightly soaked overnight and peeled if digestion is sensitive. Pairing: excellent with walnuts, but keep total nuts modest. Avoid roasted, salted almonds at night. Sodium and damaged oils work against sleep physiology. For seniors with kidney issues, portion control is important. Magnesium is beneficial, but balance matters. Studies in sleep physiology and cognitive aging consistently show that adequate magnesium intake is associated with better sleep efficiency, improved memory performance, and reduced neuroinflammation. Vitamin E intake, meanwhile, has been linked to protection against age-related cognitive and retinal decline. So almonds support neurotransmitter balance, deeper, more restorative sleep, memory consolidation, protection of retinal nerve tissue. If this is helping you connect the dots between nutrition, sleep, and brain health, consider subscribing. I share science-based strategies like this every day to help you age with clarity, energy, and independence. Next, we'll talk about the third dry fruit, the one most people completely overlook. yet it supplies zinc and vision-specific antioxidants that are critical for night vision, immune defense in the eyes, and long-term memory resilience. The third dry fruit is the one most seniors overlook, yet from a vision and memory standpoint, it may be the most targeted of all. That dry fruit is raisins, specifically dark, unsulfured raisins. Now, many people dismiss raisins as just sugar. That's a mistake, and an important one. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Raisins are one of the most concentrated natural sources of boron, zinc-supporting polyphenols, and retinal protective antioxidants. These compounds play a direct role in night vision, memory signaling, and brain energy metabolism, especially during sleep. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of zinc and boron like the software engineers of your nervous system. Walnuts provide the wiring. Almonds calm the system. But without these micronutrients, the software doesn't run properly. Signals misfire. Visual processing slows. Memory retrieval becomes unreliable. Zinc is absolutely essential for activating enzymes in the retina, responsible for low light vision, transporting vitamin A to the eye, supporting immune defense in eye tissue, maintaining neurotransmitter balance in memory circuits. As we age, zinc absorption drops sharply, even in people who eat healthy. And zinc deficiency often shows up first as poor night vision, frequent eye irritation, slow wound healing, and cognitive fatigue. Raisins don't contain massive zinc on paper, but here's the key. They enhance zinc utilization. Their polyphenols improve mineral transport and reduce oxidative stress, allowing zinc already present in your body to work more efficiently. Boron, another trace mineral abundant in raisins, supports brain signaling and has been linked to improved attention and memory performance in older adults. Now let's talk about why raisins work especially well at night. Raisins digest slowly when eaten alone in a small amount. This leads to a gentle glucose release, which actually helps the brain during sleep. Your brain requires glucose at night for memory consolidation. But sharp spikes are harmful. Raisins provide just enough fuel without triggering insulin chaos when portions are controlled. At the same time, their antioxidants go to work neutralizing free radicals generated by light exposure in the retina during the day. What the research shows is that diets rich in polyphenols and trace minerals are associated with reduced risk of age-related macular degeneration, better cognitive flexibility, improved visual processing speed, lower neuroinflammation. Now, the correct way to use raisins matters enormously. Nighttime protocol for raisins. Portion: 1 tablespoon, 10 to 12 raisins. Timing: 30 to 45 minutes before bed. Type: dark, unsulfured, organic if possible. Pairing: can be eaten alone or with almonds. Avoid combining with sweets or bread. If you have diabetes, this portion is usually well tolerated when eaten with nuts, but always monitor your response. One of the biggest mistakes seniors make is cutting out all carbohydrates at night. That often leads to poor sleep, early waking, and worse memory. The brain needs controlled fuel, not deprivation. So raisins support night vision enzymes, mineral utilization, memory signaling, gentle nighttime brain fuel. And when combined with walnuts and almonds, they complete a repair triangle: fats, minerals, and antioxidants, delivered at exactly the time your brain and eyes are rebuilding. Next, we'll put everything together into a simple, safe nighttime protocol: exact amounts, timing, and variations. So you can apply this without overthinking or weight gain. And if this content is helping you rethink how food works as medicine, consider subscribing. I post clear, science-driven guidance like this every day. Now let's put everything together, because information only becomes powerful when it's organized into a simple, repeatable system you can actually use. What we're building here is not a snack habit. It's a nighttime repair protocol designed to support your brain and eyes during their most active healing window: deep sleep. Here's what's really going on inside your body at night. Between roughly 10:30 p.m. and 2 a.m., growth hormone rises, insulin drops, and your brain shifts from processing mode into repair and storage mode. This is when memories are consolidated, neural connections are strengthened, retinal cells renew themselves, inflammation is cleared, blood flow is redistributed to repair tissue. But this only works optimally if the raw materials are available. Let me explain this with a whiteboard-style analogy. Think of sleep as a construction shift. The workers show up every night. But if the delivery truck with materials never arrives, the job stays unfinished. Walnuts, almonds, and raisins are that delivery truck, arriving slowly, steadily, and on time. Here is the ideal nighttime protocol for most seniors. The Core Repair Trio: 2-3 walnuts, 5-7 almonds, 1 tablespoon dark raisins, 10-12 raisins. Timing: consume this 30-60 minutes after dinner or about 45 minutes before bed. How to eat them? Eat slowly, chew thoroughly. No phone, no TV if possible. This enhances parasympathetic activation. What to avoid with them? No sweets, no bread, no fruit juice, no large meals afterward. This combination delivers slow-release omega fats for neural membranes, magnesium for nervous system calm and sleep depth, polyphenols and trace minerals for vision and memory enzymes, just enough glucose for nighttime brain fuel, without insulin spikes. Now let's address the most common concerns. Will this cause weight gain? Not when portions are controlled. These foods do not spike insulin significantly and often improve overnight metabolic stability. What if I have diabetes? Reduce raisins to 6 to 8 pieces and pair them with nuts. Monitor your fasting glucose. Many people actually see improvement. What if I have digestion issues? Soak nuts overnight. Eat earlier in the evening. Keep portions small. How often should I do this? 5 to 6 nights per week is enough. You don't need perfection. Consistency matters more. What the research consistently shows is that regular, targeted intake of healthy fats, magnesium, and polyphenols is associated with slower cognitive decline, better sleep quality, improved retinal health, reduced neuroinflammation, greater resilience with aging. This isn't about fixing symptoms. It's about supporting the systems that fix you. If this structured, root-cause approach to food as medicine is helping you, consider subscribing. I post content like this every day to help you protect your brain, vision, metabolism, and longevity, naturally and intelligently. Now, let's close this out by reinforcing the key takeaways, and I'll leave you with a simple challenge you can start tonight. Let's take a moment to bring everything together, because clarity is what turns knowledge into confidence. What we've really talked about today is not dry fruits. We've talked about biology. We've talked about how your brain and eyes age together, how they repair themselves at night, and how most seniors are unknowingly undernourishing the very systems responsible for memory, focus, and vision clarity. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Every night, your brain enters a repair and storage phase. Neurons strengthen connections. Inflammatory waste is cleared. Visual cells in the retina renew themselves after a full day of light exposure. But none of this happens in a vacuum. Repair requires materials,